The shock closure of Yarrow Stadium in New Plymouth due to earthquake risk will cost Taranaki millions of dollars in lost economic activity. The Taranaki Chamber of Commerce estimates the region will take a $10 million hit annually, but the true figure could be even higher. Our Taranaki Whanganui reporter Robin Martin has more.
In 2008, Venture Taranaki estimated that rugby in the province generated about $7.5 million in revenue annually and contributed about $4.5 million in GDP. It also created about 135 full-time jobs. And when Test football comes to town, the impact is multiplied. The 3 Rugby World Cup games played in New Plymouth in 2011 pumped more than $16 million into the local economy and attracted more than 30,000 visitors. The chief executive of the Taranaki Chamber of Commerce, Arun Chandarai, says the loss of the stadium is a setback.
It's really hard to quantify, but I would guess at least $10 million annually, going as per the old report, which was commissioned by Venture Taranaki in 2009. It will definitely be a big blow, but they have to address public safety, so this is the only way to go.
The Taranaki Rugby Football Union is a $4.5 million business which generates $2.3 million in commercial revenue. Its chief executive, Jeremy Parkinson, says the loss of Yarrow Stadium puts at risk the relationships which generate that cash.
All of those agreements and relationships are tied into some form of hospitality that is linked into the venue, which was Yarrow Stadium. So effectively the Yarrow Stadium underpinned our commercial business.
Mr Parkinson says the Ramfully Shield holders have been left wondering how to cater for their 750 hospitality guests and 1,600 season ticket holders, let alone its walk-up crowd. When the Taranaki Bulls last held the Shield in 2012, they had an average home gate of 10,000. Mr Parkinson says plans to grow the business are now off the table.
So the key focus is now just rehousing and finding a solution where we can cater to all those. We would have been trying to go out and recruit new season members and continue to grow the business. Now we're scrambling to find a stadium or a facility where we can go and play and deliver to our current partners.
Small stadiums in Tikorangi, Inglewood and Hawera are in discussion, but there's no joy in that for Doc Van Prague, co-owner of Crowded House, New Plymouth's official rugby supporters bar. Doc says the loss of big matches will be felt by everybody.
They're huge for the city, so especially accommodation, hospitality, taxi firms, everything. Retail, everyone gets affected, but I'm dumbfounded on how it's got to this. I don't know, what's the ground been there, 70 years? So what's been going on,
And Doc Van Prague is not the only one left bemused by what's happened at Yarrow's.
Pretty disappointing. I don't think they're that old. I don't know, 20 years old or something, so yeah, it's pretty piss poor.
Well, why should it be closed? Well, you spend some money on it.
Live in Stratford, don't care.
I know they use it for other things, don't they? Like the food festival and things like that. Yeah, that would bother me. But rugby doesn't bother me.
I feel like it's more than just about rugby. You could have a stadium for events that come to town. It's important to get it fixed.
Even the province's favourite son, Bowden Barrett, is feeling the pain.
A lot of fond memories at that ground. It's a bit sad. I'm sure we'll bounce back. We're pretty resilient in that province, so it's a little setback for a proud province, but I'm sure it won't affect the way the boys in Amber and Black will play this season and the support that we get.
Neither the Taranaki Regional Council, which owns the stadium, or the New Plymouth District Council, which manages it, were available for an interview today. In a statement, Taranaki Stadium Trust trustee Mike Neild says geotechnical tests were done ahead of the east and west stands being built in 2002 and fed into their designs. No such tests were done ahead of the 2011 Rugby World Cup upgrade or recent West Stand hospitality suite revamp. A $2 million package to provide temporary facilities at Yarrow was approved in April following the closure of the East Stand late last year. Mr Neild says the package was approved before geotechnical tests on the West Stand were complete because of time pressure ahead of the Mitre 10 Cup, which starts in August. The chief executive of the Taranaki Chamber of Commerce, Arun Chandarai, says there could be a silver lining. but it won't be in the near future.
It's huge. It's a huge economic impact, but I'm quite positive that it's going to give us opportunities to build a brand new facility where we can do a lot more than just rugby. It's a huge knock, but we'll come out stronger.
I ngā mutu mo te hōtaka o te ahi, ko Robin Martin ahau.